Bring it up. Okay. First of all, real quick, I think the year should have gone before you-who. And it's not a dash, it's a period. Now, I don't know if the year should have came before or not. Because it didn't have an author. Okay, my friend, I'm going to reclaim host for a minute, okay? Leave that up, okay? Now, you can see that there is the title, comma, date. Here it's a period. So, um, writing back up, okay? Give me just 1 second, okay? 1 second. There you go. Bring up your writing, please. Now, what can you tell me that you forgot? Because these are web sources. Did you put the web address? No. Where can you get those web addresses? I emailed you those web addresses. Check your emails. Or did you delete it? But then why didn't you put the web address? You know, the web address always comes last. So if you don't have those web addresses, do I need to resend that email to you? Or do you still have it? Then get those web addresses. You're the one for Atlanta, or are you working on it? I'm not worried about if it doesn't come out blue. Now scroll up for your paragraph. Now, did you put anything here about your wind speed? You could put, even though the cities were sunny, the wind speeds were similar, but you didn't put anything about the wind speeds, did you? Who had more wind? Now you put sunlight here, right? You just put they were both sunny. So how can we have more sun than Atlanta? And was that anything there? Or did you put humidity, the temperature, humidity, and wind speed? So instead of has more sunlight, how about is warmer and has more humidity and more wind? Okay. So it would be something like this. And I'm just going to put MB for Miami Beach, okay? You see your problem? You put sunlight twice. Instead of the temperature and the wind speed. So fix that, my friend. Okay. Now, my friend, what did I do? I helped you edit, didn't I? Now, another person reading what you've written before you hand it in helps you edit. Because they're going to notice mistakes when they're reading. They're going to be, what is it? What is this? Because in your mind, you know what you're trying to say. So oftentimes what you're reading, what you've written, you make the adjustments because you know what you were meaning to say. So if somebody else reads your writing, they're going to catch those little mistakes like that. If you had it in this paper in college, what do you think would have happened? Because they would have expected you already have done that editing. And that's one of the things I'm trying to teach you is to edit, how to edit your work. And one of the ways is edit is to have somebody else read your writing. And mark where they may not understand or maybe have a way of writing or a different way of writing that to make it clear. Okay? Look at me. Am I saying it was bad? No, but I'm trying to teach you a new skill. I know you don't like asking other people for help with work, but this is something that you need to learn to do when it comes to writing. Somebody else reading your writing helps for you to get things that are not clear. Do you realize that my mother read every one of my papers that I handed in to college? Every one of them. Every one of them. When I was in college. In high school, I always had other friends read it before I turned it in. Because that was something, if they didn't understand something, they would let me know. And I would explain what I was trying to say. So they may have had a better way to write it than me. Now, where I told you how to write your concluding sentence is what somebody else may have helped you do. Is it wrong for taking their suggestion in your writing? No, as long as they're okay with it. As long as they're okay with it. And most of the time, when people are reading to help somebody else work on their writing skills, usually have no problems with it. Because it's not that big of a deal to reword a sentence for somebody. And I have to take credit for it. Because you're not interviewing me about your writing skills. Okay? Yes or no? Okay, go. Okay, give me just a moment, okay? Okay, so guess what our topic is going to be? What do you think our topic is going to be? Breakfast. Okay, so we're going to look at two sources for breakfast, okay? You notice I'm not going to the very first one. And because you notice it's a cooking, McCormick is a source of spices. McCormick is people who sell spices. So the important breakfast, 10 healthy recipes. So they're going to stress the spices in these recipes. Am I looking for recipes or am I looking for the benefits of breakfast? The benefits. So 9 benefits of eating breakfast. So what is one common benefit? Read that paragraph and tell me. Cholesterol. So what is one thing it does? It protects your heart. Do you know what cholesterol is? It's bad fats in animal products that can actually block arteries to the brain and heart. So it stops blood flow. When my husband had an attack, he had 4 arteries blocked because of cholesterol. His cholesterol was 3 times what it should have been. And that cholesterol builds up in the arteries. Okay? That's why you don't want to have the bad cholesterol because there's good and bad. But the high cholesterol can lead to is usually bad cholesterol, not the good cholesterol. So what is one thing it can do? What is one thing it can do? Do you know what diet? Diabetes, look at me. I'm diabetic, which means my blood sugar can either go too high or too low. It does not regulate itself very well. So the hormones in your body that regulate the blood sugar in your body is messed up. Okay? You need to pay attention to somebody other than me right now? Or are they just distracting? Me? Okay. I'm just checking to see if you needed to focus in on somebody else for a moment, okay? Okay? Yes or no? Okay. And one of the things might lower the risk of diabetes because if you remember that it can lead to diabetes because they think that people breakfast skippers throughout the day overeat at other meals and snack too much. So their blood sugar goes way high because they're eating so much instead of being regulated. Because one of the ways that I control my blood sugar is I eat 5 times a day. I have 5 meals. You know how big my meal is? My meal can fit in this cup. Is that very much? No, but I eat this much 5 to 6 times a day. And I try to have a protein, carb, and veggies every time. I try to have those every time. So it's balanced. Studies show that people younger than 65 who skip breakfast have a 20 off. It raises your rate for developing diabetes. And remember when I said not eating, people who overeat tend to have very high blood sugar all of a sudden and then can drop. So you need to keep it very regulated, very steady as much as possible. Okay? And then that's why these fluctuations increase your rate for your possibility of developing diabetes. What else does it do? What else does it do? It provides energy. So read that and tell me, why does it provide energy? So the more active you are, the more calories you burn. So are you going to gain weight or muscle? Are you going to get fat or are you going to gain muscle? You're going to gain muscle because you're active. Come on. Do you realize I walked over 3 miles this morning? I have been walking 3 to 4 miles every day because my muscles are building up. And when you have muscle, do you realize that muscle takes more energy to maintain than fat? The more muscular you are, the more calories you need to take in so your body doesn't start eating the muscle. So one, if you're more physically active, you're going to be stronger. And their muscles are going to use those calories to maintain itself and not go into fat. So you're not going to gain weight because of fat. It's going to be muscle. Because when you're more physically active, you're going to do more. And because you have more energy in the morning, you're going to be like, I'm ready to go. Let's go do something versus I'm dragging. I'm dragging. Give me an energy drink so I can go. Which is better, an energy drink or actual food? Food. Okay. And keep in mind that you're not going to be overweight because you're going to be building muscle. The more active you are, the more muscle you have. And the more muscle you have, the more of those calories you're going to use. What else does it do? Milan. And remember, glucose is just another word for blood sugar. Sugar in your blood. That's all that means, okay? Now, it's not just memory. It improves memory, concentration, the speed, uh, processing, reasoning, creativity, learning, and speaking. So that's all done in the what? So it's not just good for memory, it's good for the brain. So what do you think you ought to be doing right now, my friend? So, what are some things that you could put? Protect heart. You could write protect heart. And look, you could even put good for brain because I already wrote that. So it would protect heart, good for brain. Because when you write this, I'm sorry. Okay. Did you get lower risk of diabetes? Right. I write that down. And did you get provide energy? Actually, wouldn't provide energy be part of lower risk of diabetes? Because where do we get the energy from? Our glucose, our glucose. So starting the day with the energy can do what? Might lower risk of diabetes. You could combine these two. Ready? You want me to show you? May lower risk of diabetes. I would combine those two. You see that? Have you wrote that yet? Okay. I'm going to clear that. And what else does it do? Read that paragraph and we'll talk. Obesity, which means being fat, not overweight, but not overweight, but having too much fat in your body. Because you can have a lot of weight being muscular. When I was training for my triathlon, do you realize I was up to 180 pounds? Now my weight is 135. I'm not in training, but when I was so muscular for that triathlon, I was at 180 pounds. I was a size 16. People didn't believe that I was a 16 because I was not, didn't look like an apple. I was very muscular. I had a lot of, my weight was in muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat. So being obese means you have too much fat in your body. Okay? So restart that sentence. Yes, although observational means that they can see it, but they don't know why. And they just said it cannot be established that the meal prevents weight gain. So all they're saying is eating breakfast does not prevent cannot be proven to prevent weight gain. That's all that means. Okay, read the next one. Start with randomized. Obesity journal. Now, before you write anything, if you eat in the morning, are you going to go lay down or are you going to be going to do things? You're doing things. So if you eat, and when you eat, what do you do at night? What do you do at night? Sleep. So if you eat and go to sleep, are you using that energy from the food? No. That's why it goes into fat, because the body is going to lower your blood sugar somehow. So it stores it in the fat in your body. So if you eat a bigger meal in the morning, you're going to be able to use all the energy throughout the day instead of storing it in fat when you lay down. Okay? That's the science behind that. So, helps fight hair loss. What? Do you want to get into that? Or help fight headaches and migraine? So read that. Deprivation. Rates. Migraines are an extremely bad headache that might last 3 days. And taking Tylenol is not going to be enough. Okay? Due to low blood sugar. So part of that, one of the ways that I can tell that my blood sugar is going to be dropping is that I'm getting a headache. So what has fasting shown? Fasting is shown to cause what? Migraine headaches. That's why I eat 5 times a day, because I tend to have migraines. So I'm eating 5 times a day helps to keep my blood sugar level, so I don't get the migraines. So controlling blood sugar levels does what? Levels does what? If skipping breakfast results in headache and migraines, what does controlling blood sugar levels do? Help stop what? Headaches. Would write that. You want to talk about fiber intake? Yes or no? Let's see what the other ones do. I think better mood was better. What do you think? That's you. So read that and tell me what you understand. So they're basically, when you're hungry, what can happen? Hung mad. So you're basically, you can be mad because you're what? You being hungry can make you what? Mad. That's all that means. Instead of mad, you could put grumpy. I think I'd probably use the word grumpy. Have you wrote that, my friend? Okay. Now let's go to this other one. Is breakfast really the most important meal of the day? Let's find out. Okay. Read that real quick and tell me what it means. Okay. And what do you see here? What do you see right here? That's the author and the date. You see that? That's the author and the date. So real quick, what I'm going to do. And I'm going to put here. Okay. You see that? What I just put? Okay. That's going to be real important because when you list your sources, that's going to be important. Okay. Okay, so read that real quick. What does breakfast mean? To do what? To break the fast. Because do people usually eat at night while they're sleeping? No. So that's why they're looking at the fast of like 8-10 hours. Okay. So you can break your fast at any time, right? Now, you can see here that when was the year that it was established that breakfast was the most important meal of the day? Back in the 60s. This Adele Davis suggested to help keep people fit and avoid obesity. Okay. But a recent study has said what? 50% of people regularly skip breakfast. It, it provides important nutrients. It can promote weight loss. You see that? But is breakfast really the most important meal of the day? As with most things in nutrition, answer is what? Complex. Because if you get up at 10 o'clock, when do you start your day? At 8 o'clock while you're sleeping, or at 10 o'clock? So let's say you have at 11 o'clock, you're eating lunch. Is it really lunch or is that your breakfast? That's when you're breaking your fast, even if you're having a sandwich and not traditional breakfast food of, say, pancakes, oatmeal, scrambled eggs, a bagel, toast, pancakes, waffles. You have a sandwich instead. Do you know when I usually have those type of foods? You know when I usually have those type of foods? It's not for breakfast, it's for supper. I have breakfast for supper. Okay? I have breakfast foods for supper, not breakfast. Eating regular meals and snacks is the important thing. Okay? So as long as a person can fit their nutrition in during other meals, breakfast may not be so important. So what is this saying right here? What is this saying real quick? Let's summarize this. Breakfast, what does breakfast mean? Break fast, right? So, and what is the most important thing? Look here, my friend. What is this? So what should a person do? So a person who might skip breakfast in the morning and they're out the door real early, they may not have the um self-discipline to eat healthy the rest of the day. So people eating breakfast would have a lot more self-control, self-discipline for eating healthy the rest of the day. So instead of writing all this down, what do you think you ought to write? What do you think you ought to write? Write that. Are you done yet, my friend? Okay. Evidence and evidence in supporting eating breakfast. Um, and you can see right here. Tell me where we have covered all this stuff right here. Where did we cover all of that stuff? Where did you write all of that? It your last in the last when we did notes from here, wasn't it? Wasn't all out of that part of that? Yes. So do you need to write all of this, my friend? However, analysis, let's see, again, this particular group of students can only suggest that those who eat breakfast are more likely to reduce the risk of cardiovascular and metabolic diseases mentioned above. It cannot be proved that breakfast is what is causing it. So there is just a link. They're saying if you eat breakfast, you're less likely to have all of this. They don't know why. They just see a link. That's all it is. It's a link. Okay. So what? Let's see. However, an analysis of data over 30,000 North Americans show that people who skip breakfast miss these nutrients. So what are they missing? So I would probably put something like this. Let's see. Analysis. Looking at data missed when skipping breakfast, okay, are what? And then list all of this, okay? Then list all of this, okay? Okay. Remember when I talked about the blood sugar? For those who skip breakfast, experience larger spikes in blood sugar after eating. So I would write that. Okay. Does it cause weight gain? Let's see. Studies suggest that those who omit or consume breakfast both end up with nearly identical total daily calories. Another randomized controlled trial carried out over 4 months tested the effectiveness of a recommendation to eat or skip breakfast on weight loss with 309 adults with overweight or obesity trying to lose weight in a free living setting. At the end of the study, researchers concluded that eating breakfast did not have any significant impact on weight loss with not eating breakfast. So, is this article saying that skipping breakfast affects weight loss or not? And you notice it's in black. Okay. So you could say researchers conclude eating breakfast weight loss. That's what I would write. Are you done yet, my friend? Okay. Are people who eat breakfast healthier? Okay. So according to one 2018 observational study, those who frequently eat breakfast often pay more attention to their overall nutrient intake. Regular participation in physical activity and adequate management stress. So this is saying that people here who eat breakfast have a healthier lifestyle. That is all that is saying. Okay. Those who skip breakfast tend to have unhealthier life habits. Okay. Skip breakfast and have unhealthier life habits, such as smoking and drinking. They also tend to have diets higher in fat and cholesterol and calories that are habitually than those. Okay. So all this is saying is who skip breakfast have unhealthy lifestyle. So the important thing is overall health status. And I put a semicolon instead of an L. So I'm going to just do this here, okay? So most important is is healthy living, right? That's all that is saying. Okay. Should you eat breakfast? If you habitually skip breakfast, it is important to ensure that you optimize your nutrient intake at other meals. So, what is that really saying? If skip breakfast, you should do what? Get nutrition through what? Through other meals. Okay. That's all that's saying. Okay. What should you eat for breakfast? Look at that. They give you an idea of some healthy foods. Do you want to write all those down, or because what have I done? Did I not provide you the source? Do you need those there, or do you have it? It's there. Okay. Find what works best for you. Ways to improve your health. Look at all the things that they tell you to do. So this is healthy lifestyle. So you can just put in article health. Look at all the ways that it's listed healthy lifestyle. Okay. Do you want to write all those down? Yes or no? Or do you know where to get it? The bottom line, if you choose not to eat breakfast, there's no reason to feel guilty. And there is not much evidence that it could negatively impact your health. What is important is to eat in a way that works best for you while living a healthy lifestyle and ensuring your nutrient needs are being met during your other meals. So, what is the most important? Eating breakfast or not eating breakfast? Or but people who eat breakfast, do they tend to have a unhealthy lifestyle or a healthy lifestyle? They tend to have a healthy lifestyle. I'm going to go back up here. And I'm going to copy this right here. Now, do you see what I see? Medical author is this person right here. Okay. Let's see if we can if I can find the date. Let's scroll down to the very end and see if it's there. And look, they also list healthy breakfast ideas. Hold on. That we did not cover. So they have it there too, so you can compare that. I'm not sure where to find the date. Okay. Okay. So if you don't put a date on that source, I'm not going to panic. Okay. But make sure you have everything else. Okay. Now, you know what I want you to write? One paragraph. Homework. One paragraph. Okay. Include information from both articles. Okay. Write that down. It might be something, I'm just going to give you a short example here. Okay. Example. Let's see. Breakfast is bad for you. Okay. Research shows that eating breakfast makes you fat and blood sugar spikes and makes you, hold on, want to sleep and makes you sleep. People who eat breakfast are lazy. They have unhealthy lifestyle. Skipping breakfast is a good idea. Now, is that correct? Is that correct? Yes or no? Really? Is breakfast bad for you? Did it say breakfast was bad for you? Yes or no in those articles? No. And remember, this is an example of a article. Okay. Now, research shows that eating breakfast makes you fat. Is that true? No. But instead of saying they have unhealthy lifestyle, you could say people who eat breakfast are active. They have a healthy lifestyle, couldn't you? Okay. So I'm just giving you an example of how I took some information from each of the articles. Did it say that blood sugar spikes and makes you sleep if you eat breakfast? Did it say that if you eat breakfast, your blood sugar spikes or you're more active? You're more active. So I'm going to just put here. This paragraph does not have true information from articles. Do not use. It is an example. Okay. Include the sources. Okay. You need to include those sources. Hold on just a second. What did you see that I did? And it includes the homework. It shows an example. And you see that I put in there about the example. Okay. Now you can see that I sent it to you, didn't I? Now, am I looking for a whole essay? No. I'm looking for you to take information from two sources to write in one paragraph. Okay. Now, do you have more than enough information to get 3 details? Are you going to write to eat? Am I saying you should eat breakfast or not eat breakfast? Then you need to include information about why eating breakfast is important. Why you think eating breakfast is important. Okay? And use those facts to support your opinion. I'm asking you to write an opinion paper because does the article say that you should eat breakfast or you shouldn't? Or that you should have a healthy lifestyle? Lifestyle. That's more important, is your lifestyle. So if you say eating breakfast is important, then that's your opinion. And you have to use those facts to back up your opinion. Okay? Okay, my friend? Am I looking for an entire essay? Or one paragraph? One paragraph. Now, I expect some kind of effort. I'm not going to help you this weekend. I'm not going to help you. I want to help you on Monday, but I want some kind of effort. If you say I need help, I can't do it. You better show me that you have some work done. Not one sentence, but that you wrote something. You understand? What am I looking for you to do? Am I looking for you to do it perfect or to try? Try. Do I expect it perfect? I expect this will be rather difficult for you. It will be a challenge to do. Understand? It will be a challenge. But that's why I want you to try. Do you know how to write a paragraph? Yes. So this time I'm trying to get you to take two sources and put it into one paragraph. Take these sources and make it one paragraph. Okay? And then we're going to talk about how to cite those sources in your paragraph on Monday. And I will help you with whatever. You better have a paragraph, even if it's 5 sentences long. Write something. Or I'm going to make you write an entire essay and say, then we'll work on the essay. You want an essay or one paragraph? Am I going to help you if you say, help me, Lisa? No, because I want you to try. And then we'll talk about it on Monday. Okay? But if you don't write anything, am I going to be happy with you? No. No. No, my friend. Okay? Any questions? 8 stars, my friend. Okay? Blessings.